Well, John, another Saturday, another round of protests around the country. This time here in Washington, D.C., organizers are hoping that several thousands will come out to again say no war to President Bush. Now, many of the organizers that I've spoken to say what's happening here is pretty historic. Historic because you've never seen this kind of a national mobilization happening so quickly, even before a war has been declared. Another thing that makes it historic, according to the organizers, is the level of cooperation between the groups that are taking part in these demonstrations. Just today I have spoken to Republicans who are here, I have spoken to socialists who are here, and anarchists who are here, all of them saying that they have put aside their ideological differences to be able to send one common message across the world, which is no war, and they want President Bush to listen. Now, joining me now is Mara Verheiden-Hilliard, who is one of the organizers of the demonstration. Mara, so far, are you pleased with what you're seeing? There are people who probably say the numbers aren't so large.
There are people arriving on buses. There are thousands and thousands of people here, and the rally has only just started. And this is an emergency convergence that we called only in the last 2 weeks. So this is a pretty impressive turnout.
So what is, I mean, you have a lot of messages. The group Answer has a lot of messages. You're not only saying no to war, but to end racism. But what do you think that the people here are joining on? Is it very specific?
Our message is actually very simple. It is opposition to war and recognition that racism is a mechanism to war.
What happens? I mean, what kind of plan do you have? There are so many people are talking about there's a possibility of war starting sometime next week. What are organizers saying?
What we know is that this is a critical moment for all of us, the people of the United States and people around the world, to come out in force and stop this war from happening. The war makers don't fight the war. It's all of us who are asked to go and fight it and make it happen. And without our cooperation, it can't happen.
So the sense, though, that given the fact that this seems to be moving forward so quickly, there must be a point where you feel a little daunted by all of this.
We know that, in fact, we've held them back. They would have launched a carnage months ago, except for the fact that the anti-war movement of millions around the world and in the United States has stopped them. And look what's happening now. Bush and Blair have to run to a small island in the Atlantic where there won't be protests, so they can try and plot a carnage, but there's about $6 billion to the two of them.
Okay, thank you very much. One of the organizers here. So as you can say, they continue to say that they believe they have already had an impact. Let's go now to Jim Bitterman in Paris, where others have also taken to the streets there.